Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and give this video a like up. Former WWE manager Dutch Mantel recently spoke about Triple H's efforts in bringing a major star to the company. There have been rumors of the chief content officer currently in touch with Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler has had a mixed career in the UFC. After a stellar run at Bellator, he joined the Dan White-led promotion, but notched up only 2 wins, while suffering 5 defeats. The star, however, has been very entertaining with his trash talk, something that might have put him on WWE's radar. Chandler recently dropped a bombshell when he announced that his team was in talks with Triple H regarding a possible stint in the company. On a recent episode of the Wrestling Time Machine with host Mac Davis, Mantel questioned about the star. He acknowledged not knowing much about Chandler and had to check Google to find more information on him. The veteran manager then realized he was a former UFC fighter and a renowned mixed martial artist. However, Mantel's reaction sparked questions on whether casual wrestling fans would know the star if he showed up in WWE. Michael Chandler has reported that he has been a longtime WWE fan. He informed Triple H of the same as well, hoping that it might open up some doors for him in the company. WWE has not shied away from crossover talent, joining the promotion for the added attention and eyeballs. It will be interesting to see if Chandler gets an impactful run with the company. Tiaras is a WWE news writer for Sportskeeda Wrestling who started watching wrestling in the later part of the Attitude Era. Although he holds a bachelor's degree in engineering, Tiaras was a creative writer for his college, and his flair for creativity and love of pro wrestling eventually led him to the journalism field. After an initial stint in 2016 to 2017, he has been writing regularly for Sportskeeda since 2021. As someone who loves and respects the business, he prides himself on factual, clean and ethical reporting, free of plagiarism and AI usage. One of the ways he ensures this is by transcribing videos that he reports on. Tiaras had the privilege of interviewing superstar Matt Hardy in his career so far. Although his favorite wrestler is CM Punk, as he relates to his straight-edge philosophy. When he is not reporting news, he loves reading and collecting WWE action figures. He currently owns over 500 wrestling figures and merchandise. In the ever-shifting landscape of sports entertainment, one rumor has the wrestling world buzzing. Triple H may be on the verge of bringing a top UFC star into the WWE fold. As executives whisper in corridors and insiders circulate if true leads, one wrestling veteran has audibly paused and quipped he'll have to ask Google to figure out who's being floated. According to multiple reports, Michael Chandler, former Bellator standout turned UFC lightweight contender, is said to be in talks with WWE's top creative forces. Chandler, known for his brash trash talk and high-octane fighting style, has reportedly expressed longtime fandom for WWE, hinting he wouldn't mind crossing over if given the opportunity. Triple H, Paul Levesque, now wielding major creative power in WWE, has long been associated with bold crossover ideas. Adding a legitimate MMA name like Chandler could bring legitimacy buzz and draw in fight fans. Some speculate the move is part of a broader trend, WWE leaning harder into real combat aesthetics, blurring the line between scripted storytelling and alleged athleticism. On an episode of the Wrestling Time Machine, veteran manager Dutch Mantel reacted to the chatter with candid skepticism. He admitted he wasn't nearly as familiar with Chandler as the rumor mill suggests. As he put it, verbatim, "Wait a minute, I'm gonna ask Google. Who is Michael Chandler? The hell if I know." Mantel's reaction strikes at a more subtle concern: name recognition. In wrestling, it's not enough to be successful in another sport. You have to be known by the core audience. If most WWE fans need to Google the name, that's a barrier to immediate connection in promos, storylines, and merchandise. Mantel didn't slam the idea outright. He simply underscored the risk. Bringing in an MMA fighter is one thing. Making them a star in wrestling is quite another. Why might Triple H be so keen on Chandler? Here are a few compelling arguments in favor. Wrestling has long dabbled in legit crossovers. Think Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, Cain Velasquez. Having someone with real fight bona fides can freshen the roster and lend gravitas to feuds. Chandler's reputation as a tough, fearless competitor could inject fresh energy. Chandler isn't shy about talking trash or hyping fights. That swagger could translate well into promos, especially if WWE gives him room to develop a character. Even if he's not a household name in wrestling, he has MMA fans who might tune in out of curiosity. It's a potential bridge to a crossover audience. Given that TKO, WWE's parent company, is increasingly intertwined with combat sports, bringing UFC crossover talent could serve broader strategic goals. This is more speculative, but not outlandish. Yet the jump from the octagon to the squared circle is littered with pitfalls. Chandler can't simply be the MMA guy. He needs a persona, motivations, rivalries, and consistency. Otherwise, he risks being a one-note novelty. MMA fighting and pro wrestling are very different arts. Timing, selling, crowd psychology, all must be learned. Some crossover stars adapt, others lag. A poor early run or misbooking can sink even the most promising imports. WWE has to commit, protect him, and build slowly. Otherwise, the Google moment becomes a punchline. Wrestling audiences are parameterized by catchphrases, legacy names, surprise returns, nostalgia. If Chandler feels foreign, it's harder to anchor him in storylines. Mantel's comment about Googling highlights a core question. If the average fan doesn't recognize the name, can WWE create awareness fast enough? Wrestlers historically build up through TV time, vignettes, surprise appearances, viral promos. For Chandler to be legit in the eyes of fans, the introduction has to land big. In that context, a smart rollout might lean heavily into his MMA past while gradually weaving him into existing feuds. Rather than throw him in at the top, maybe give him a mid-card rival, test his mic work, let him earn his stripes. If Triple H is serious about this, the first 90 days are everything. If WWE pulls this off, it's not just about Chandler. It signals WWE's willingness to blur lines more aggressively. Future UFC stars, or crossover athletes, might see WWE as a viable second act. It's also fodder for corporate synergy, social media content, and cross-promotion. But if it fails, it may reinforce the lesson. Not every talent, however skilled, fits the pro wrestling world. As of now, the rumor remains unconfirmed. WWE has made no official announcement, and its possible negotiations are preliminary or exploratory. But rumor or not, the chatter is enough to stimulate debate. Mantel's "I'm gonna ask Google" moment is more than a gag. It's a caution flag. Bringing in a real-life fighter is sexy, but making them matter in the wrestling universe? That's the real challenge.